What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another Skyforge video. I'm Crazy Pickle, and today we're gonna look at the new exosuit pieces that we have, 2 from the season pass and 2 from the 9 events. Boots and gloves comes from the 9 event, back and the base comes from the season pass. So we're gonna take a look, we're gonna read the description, and if something I can show it, which mostly gonna be about the back piece, I will show it how it works and what it actually does. Alright guys, let's get started. And we're gonna start with the base, which is the current supply. If you use Emblems of Pain from a distance over 18 yards, the Exoskeleton has 20% chance to charge your companion's attack, restoring it and increasing its damage 2 times for every emblem you throw. Back piece is Rear Electrode. Charged by Exoskeleton, your companion's attack creates an electrified area. When you are in the area, your class abilities deals 40% more damage. For the gloves, we got Railatrons. Ranged, divine, and trophy weapons deal 45% more damage. And the last but not least, Boots. Conductors. Hitting enemies with the symbol Emergency Maneuver Shockwave increases its damage by 800% and charges your companion attack if the wave covers more than 18 yards. So for the base piece, I'm not really sure if it actually stacks up, for the 20% chance for every Emblems of Pain you have, because you can stack up Emblems of Pain up to 3 stacks. So if it does works 20 for 1 stack, 40% for 2 stacks, and 60% for 3 stacks, then it actually might be pretty useful, but only when we have the Emblems of Pain Atlas node, just because we're gonna utilize Emblems of Pain at the same time more often, because simply that node increasing your damage to the enemies. We did had that node in Mechanoid Invasion, which was the previous invasion we had. So if it would come out at that time, then it would definitely gonna be useful. I did try and see if with 3 stacks it will proc more often, but it was kind of like 50-50. So it was still really hard to determine if it actually stacks those percentages. If not, 20% chance to charge your companion's attack, it's still an okay chance, but we all know that the Skyforge has kind of a bad RNG on that part, even when it tells you 20% chance. So I'm not really sure what I can tell right now for the base piece. I think at this point, like I said just now, that it might be only going to be useful when we have that Atlas node for the Emblems of Pain. Without the nodes, without the bonuses, it doesn't really make sense to use it. It's still better to use it the Pillar of Faith, because every time you have 80% chance at the start of the combat, so every time you start a new fight, you have 80% chance to charge your companion attack. So I'm gonna move on to the gloves. And I want to skip the back because I want to keep the back at the end. We're just going to talk about the gloves first, then the legs, and then at the end we're going to talk about the back. Alright, ranged, divine, and trophy weapons deal 45% more damage. Is it really going to be useful just simply for regular stuff or whatever else you're doing on a daily basis? I don't think so. And I don't think the 45% it's that much unless you again combine with the Invasion Atlas. And we did have that bonus on a previous invasion as well. I think there is also another invasion that has the divine weapon bonus kind of thing on damage, just work a little bit different. So in that case, I guess you can combine it. But I will tell you why it may not actually properly work or maybe not really useful when we get to the back piece. Alright, moving on to the boots. Hitting enemies with the symbols. Alright, shockwave, yeah, sure, increases damage by 800%. Everybody probably gonna think about it, oh, 800%, it's so much. Not really. If the symbol itself deals a shitty damage, then those 800% not gonna make a big difference. And again, if you also have to count that it will only charge your companion attack if that shockwave covers more than 18 yards. Let's say if you're doing stuff solo. What's gonna happen? That enemy is gonna be always in your face. So you don't have the 18 yards or whatever, 17, 15 meters from the target, whatever it is, right? It has to pass that particular range in order to charge your companion attack. And again, when we get to the back, we'll talk about why the charging companion attack is so important. But in order of damage, I don't think it's gonna be a big deal. Honestly, I would say right away that boots are not really worth it. Again, it's gonna be a big question mark if the shockwave symbol itself actually gets the buffs or not. So if that's the case, if the shockwave actually can get the buffs from Alchemist, Lightbinder, Soundwaver, then maybe those 800% gonna actually make a little bit of difference. Again, we're just gonna have to test and see. I haven't tried it. I only tried it in the training room just without any buffs, and it deals pretty decent damage. Again, we're gonna have to test it out in a real situation, in a real scenario, and see how big of a damage it can deal. Alright, now the back piece. So the back piece is one of the best pieces out of all of these pieces. And the reason why, it's simply because it gives you 40% more damage from your class abilities, whatever class you play. When it's a mythical quality, I think the blue quality, it gives you 30%. Then if you upgrade it to purple, it's gonna be 35. And of course, the mythical is gonna be 40. Now, you saw how it actually procs, what's the area look like. So it's pretty simple. It doesn't drop on top of the character, unfortunately, but it's still not far away. Sometimes it kind of drops that it looks like it's far away, just because if you, let's say, doing that in a group, then in a certain scenarios, it may drop a little bit further than you would like to. So that's kind of a one downside, that it doesn't drop either too close or at least on the top of the character. And I see the reason why, because if it would always drop on top of the character, because you will always get those 40% more damage, and if you stand in like on a Soundwaver's amps and he pops the ulti, it will multiply probably that really huge, and you get a big boost from that. It does make sense why they made that way. I still think if they would decrease how far it actually drops just slightly, then it might not gonna be that big of a deal. Because sometimes what I noticed, when that field actually drops, if there is much going on the map, and because you can only see it on the floor, the electric field, if there is like an amp or something else going on, like a bunch of stuff's going on, you may not actually see it sometimes where exactly that field is. So you may missed it, and that field only stays for 10 seconds. Now, let's talk about why the charging your companion attack is so important. If you read on the back piece, it says charged by the exoskeleton. All the pieces that the base, your gloves, and maybe even the boots or some of the boots, charging your companion attack, it will then proc the ability from your back piece. If you don't have any pieces that will charge the companion attack, and when you use your companion charge, it will never proc for you. So you have to consider to use the proper base piece, arms, and legs. In this case, my setup would be the Pillar of Faith. At the start of the combat, you always get 80% chance to charge your companion attack. So you have a lot of chances to proc your electric field from the back piece. If we're gonna go to the arms, it says when you using punishing hands, when you use class abilities, it charges your companion's attack once every 25 seconds. So during the battle, every 25 seconds, you have a chance to proc ability from the back piece. And in order of the legs, I would use Arbiter's Steps. It says emergency maneuver symbols deals 80% more damage. We don't really care about the damage. We only care about the exoskeleton has an 80% chance to charge your companion attack when emergency maneuver symbol are activated. And let's say in case, even if you're using the symbols that protect you, which is the emergency maneuver dodge, still, even if it procs, it still gives you that 80% chance to proc the ability from the back piece. So this is why it's so important to have your charging pieces that actually charge in your companion attack. Now let's talk about are those pieces are worth actually having or actually getting. So since the arms and legs comes from the 9 event, I would definitely gonna say don't worry about those two pieces too much. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. Again, for the new boots, we're gonna test, and maybe if we get proper information, maybe not 100% stuff, but we can at least test something, and then we're gonna let you guys know. In order of the hands, I don't think they're really that worth it. 45% from divine weapons, but I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference. Most of your damage still comes from your character, from your abilities, and all the extra buffs you get from it. Base piece, of course, you're gonna get 100%, as well as the back if you're doing the seasonal achievement, and you can actually reach that amount of points in a season in order to get them. Of course, the back piece is the lower amount of points you have to get in order to get the base piece. And the back is actually closer to the end. So if you're really aiming for the back, which is one of the best pieces, at least on my opinion, out of this set, then yes, aim for the back piece, you'll get the base. Not really worth it for now, but at least you're gonna have it, and in case it's gonna work properly with that particular Invasion Atlas bonus for the Emblems of Pain, that it might be actually useful. Right now, it can just sit in your bag, covered with the dust, whatever. So aim for the back if you can, doing the seasonal achievement. And actually, one more thing I forgot to tell, that since my base piece is the steel blue quality and it only shows 20%, so I believe if I'll upgrade to mythical, which 2 levels to go, purple and the mythical, I'm not sure how much it's gonna give you, 10%, 5%, probably gonna give you maybe 10% per upgrade, so it's gonna bump up to 40%, I would assume, maybe 45, maybe not more than 50 would be max. Again, I'm not really sure. When I'll have enough parts, I will definitely upgrade it and we'll see exact number after all of the upgrades. And yes, arms and the legs are mythical quality already, so I don't have to worry too much about it. And one last thing before I'll wrap up with this video. So one thing I do really like about the visual appearance of this exoskeleton suit is looks amazing. So I think that's probably the best part that they've done so far. The visual appearance, what I do like, it's not bulky, it's really like tight fitted, just looks amazing. Okay, nice and clean. Really got an upgrade on that exo suit visually. Definitely appreciate that. And that would be all, guys, for this video. If you have your thoughts, please jump in the comment section down below. Let us know, share your opinion. As always, if you like this video, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, activate notification that you're not gonna miss new video I post. Follow me on Twitter, join my Discord server. All the links you can find in the description. And until the next time, take care.